and welcome back to another episode of the Final Flight podcast. We're going to wait 30 seconds. It's a little bit long for that countdown. But so we're back for part two of our sort of pre-season tour. The lads are back. We had a great show last week with Josh from Greenall and Guerrero. And tonight we've got Mr. Harry Skelton. Good evening, mate. How are you?
How are we doing, lads?
Yeah, doing really well, mate. Are you ready for another jump season? Then it's nearly here to start.
Yeah, can't wait really. All the horses gearing up now, but we just need some rain. We got a bit there a couple of weeks ago. It looked like it was on its way, but been dry since really. So that we managed to get one or two out where we could, but no, can't wait to get going with them.
Yeah, we're chomping at the bit now, and we're looking forward to some nice soft ground and to get stuck into this national season. So I'll just quickly go to Rich and George. It's been a good show last week, Rich. You looking forward to tonight and the jump season?
Yeah, it's nearly here. Get the ledger out of the way, and that's it. Practically near enough, isn't it? So, yeah, bring it on. Let's get stuck into the jumps, the good stuff.
Joe, you buzzing?
Yeah, 100%. Can't wait. Obviously, speaking to guys like this, unbelievable, isn't it? And it does get the blood flowing. So yeah, can't wait.
Yeah, obviously, Harry, we really appreciate you coming on and giving us a little bit of your time. So we're going to sort of get straight into it. But firstly, obviously, you won the David Power Jockey Cup. I'm going to start there. You're going to be trying to win that again this year, I'm sure. Nice little bonus, that, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was very handy. I'm not sure if it's going to go ahead. I don't know. We're yet to hear whether it's going to go ahead or not. But yeah, I'm certainly hoping it does. I know.
I'm going to say, well, fingers crossed they can get that going. Well, I think we're a nice little side story to the season, and obviously the other side story is the trainer's title. Obviously, Willie Mullins has picked you again. What do you think you could maybe do different this season to kind of stop that juggernaut of Willie Mullins?
Look, we just need to have up the bar a little bit. Our bar keeps rising every year, and so does his. I think last year to bring them first five home in the national was just, how do you even going about trying to get in the way of all of that? It's just, unbelievable, really, what he did. But hopefully 1 year he won't win the national.
Well, we've got our fingers crossed that you can keep it on home soil this year. But like I say, we'll get into some of your horses. You've got a really good string this year. There's no other better place to start really than the New Lion. Obviously, everyone's talking about him. The Turners winner, mega impressive. JP's got him. How did it feel winning on him? Has he come back in all right? Are we looking forward to a champion hurdle campaign this year?
Yeah, he's in good old form, to be honest. I actually went over and seen him in the summer. Done really well. Just a beautiful place, obviously Martinstown.
Yeah.
Go on holiday over there. You go yourself for 2 weeks. But it'd be been amazing. But no, he looks great. And obviously winning at Cheltenham was the icing on the cake really for his novice campaign. We were very hopeful, but he had to step up and deliver, and that's what he did. Got a lot of faith in him. I think with his pedigree, there's no reason why this horse shouldn't still progress by Cave Tara. As soon as they get a bit older, they get better. So hopefully that's the case. But he, make no mistake, that jump out of novice company into the open company is a big step. But if there's one horse that looks like he can do it, probably coming from the novice ranks, it's him, isn't it? So look, we want to end up in the champion hurdle. How we get there, nothing's set in stone. But race by race will tell us whether he's up to that anyway.
Yeah, do you think it'll be probably the fighting fifth? And I know that's sort of been mentioned as a starting
That's
point.
going to be look, that'd be the obvious starting point, wouldn't
Yeah.
it? But if they're watering the ground, you'd have to think twice, like they were last year. It was a very dry autumn. So, like I say, nothing's set in stone with him, and Dan certainly won't be, mapping races out, in cement and putting them down in cement now. So, we'll see. But we're hoping that we have a champion hurdle horse on our hands. But there's a lot of hoops to jump through to get there.
Yeah, and there's a lot of horses in that race where if they all turn up, it'll be some race that. So it's definitely something for us all to look forward to. Next time we're going to go with is Grey Dawning. Obviously, semi all right season last season. Started off in the Betfair chase, mega slog in the come second. Do you think that's going to be the plan again, or do you think you might think? I know obviously pulled up in the King George after that. Do you think that kind of did a bit too much to him, or do you think you'll go that same route?
Look, obviously, last year it rained heavily on the day up at
Proper
Haydock.
bog,
Yeah, it played into Royal Pagai's hands. He outstayed us. I think the ground that day, look, if it had been good to soft, I think we'd have had taken nothing away from the winner. But he had his ideal conditions. He's deadly on heavy ground,
Yeah.
and it just got the better of us. Hopefully this year, yeah, a bit of good to soft. Soft would be fine. Yeah, going to Haydock, we'll go back there for a grade one. Be great to get a grade one in open company under his name. And then we went to Kempton, right-handed, doesn't suit him. You won't see him going right-handed again. But look, he ran well at Aintree, but I think at Aintree, to be honest, he just felt like like he'd had a busy season. Really, he never really gotten into any rhythm, and probably the ground, that day was probably too quick for him.
Yeah. Well, that's it. Like I say, we'll hopefully can go well in that Betfair and get that to his name. So I don't know if it'll be a strong this year, depending on who turns up. But fingers crossed, a decent bit of ground for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Fantastic.
And like, I don't want to make excuses for him, but I think he probably ran on extremes. He ran on
Yeah.
very heavy ground, then ran on very decent ground at the end of the year. He hadn't been
Mhm.
busy, so we wanted to run him again. It was a grade one at Aintree, and you take your chance.
Yeah.
But obviously the ideal conditions were up at Kelso when he was impressive, beating Oroka, giving him weight.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
that was no slouch of an effort really to beat him, giving him plenty of weight, and you know race that we won't leave behind, and we'll look to start off in the Betfair.
Fantastic. Bit of good to soft ground in the Betfair, be lighting over them fences. Well, it'd be perfect.
That'd be ideal.
Love it. So my next one then I'd like to talk to you about is one that's he actually a horse called Country Mile. He obviously bolted off at Cheltenham when I was there that day at the Christmas meeting, and then he sort of flopped in the next day Aintree in the fog, if you remember. I think you remember you said to us after that he kind of come a bit too quick for him that race, and then we didn't really see him. We didn't see him again after that season. He's rated
Yeah, look,
137. Is he all right?
we shouldn't have ran him at Aintree. We ran him
Yeah.
back too quick. The way the race was run at Cheltenham, it all just fell apart. They went very strong and hard up front, which like ideally suits him really because he's a strong. He is can be a bit headstrong sometimes, and just he can get the better of him a little bit.
Mhm.
But yeah, you're actually probably, if the ground's all right there, you'll probably see him fairly soon enough. There's a race from Utoxeter on the 5th, Novice Chase. I think we look to start him there. He's got to help himself out. He's forward going. He's a bold jumper, but he just needs to engage everything a little bit more.
Mhm. That's a good novice chasing. That's exciting. I'll look forward to that.
Yeah, he's going to go Novice Chasing, but like I just hope that he
Puts it together.
when he goes down to a fence, he has a look and concentrates and thinks about what he's doing rather than just thinking, I want to go flat out everywhere, and take everything on, because if that happens, he could just come a bit unstuck.
Mm.
But aside it, ability, it's there. He's got a big engine. He's just got to use it in the right way.
Yeah, we'll be watching you flying down to that first fence then when we see him first time
Yeah,
out.
you
Go
three,
down.
you three, you three will be watching, flying down there, having a laugh, I expect. But yeah, I hope when he gets there, he realizes what's in front of him.
Oh, I'm sure he will. So you got Money Garrow in the same colours, obviously second to Win Beneath
Yeah,
My Wings that day.
nice,
Go on.
nice horse. He's going to start off probably at Chepstow in the Persian War. Won a bumper there
Nice.
last year. He had quite a long season really as a bumper horse.
Yeah.
And ended up running well behind a very good horse of Pipes, probably at Ascot. Then was placed again after that, and given an awful lot of weight away to a 4-year-old at Kempton, when was
Mhm.
probably just had enough and got bored of bumpers, if you like. Going to start off at Chepstow, like I say, in the Persian War. It's a nice starting point. I see this horse probably being a 3-miler, whether he ends up in an Albert Bartlett or a Potemps, something like along those lines. I suppose we'll see, but really likable, stays well, jumps well, and he'll win plenty of races.
Fantastic. Well, moving on to another one that's been spoken about quite a lot on the old socials, and it's My Daddy Paddy. A lot of people calling this horse the next New Lion. Bolted up at a Huntington bumper. Is this the one we should get behind for the Turners this year, or is this Supreme? What do you think? Which one are we backing him for? Come on.
Either do me. I'm not too fussed.
Anyone.
But yeah, he's got a big engine, a lot of natural ability, finds everything very easily at home, by walking the park. They can just be, a little highly strung, but he's a year older now and always had a good summer out, and he's come back in and taken to everything really, really well. He's grown up. He's a big horse. And big horse, big engine, jumps great. He'll start low key, but look, I'm not going to sit here and say we hope he, where's he going to be in the spring? We hope he's going to be at Cheltenham,
Whichever way it is,
Supreme, Neptune. I don't know. At the minute, he's got plenty of, he has got plenty of pace. And at the end of the day, for that Supreme, you need one that's you need one that's really going to stay. And it sounds silly, but sometimes I think in the Neptune, you need a horse with a bit more of a change of gear, that can pick up and quicken. Whereas in the Supreme, they go, pretty much end to end, and that's why they, people say, oh, it's 2 miles, it'll be faster, but those 2-milers, when at championship level, they've got to be able to go, full tilt for 2 mile and keep going. His pedigree suggests that he stays well. Yeah, very exciting. I hope he's Cheltenham bound in the spring.
Oh, fingers crossed. Like I say, New Line was a bit lucky early days. People weren't really writing him off a bit, weren't they? And then look what happened. So this could be something similar. But
yeah, look, I'll be honest. I will be honest. This horse shows more than the New Lion did at this point. That doesn't mean he's going to be better. He shows more.
Yeah,
that's all he does. Is he? He likes to tell you every day that he thinks he's pretty good. He does everything very easily, whereas the New Lion go under the radar as a bumper horse. I don't know. He came to the track at Market Raising when he won, and he found this speed that we'd never seen before. So, but My Daddy Paddy certainly goes around the place. He knows he's a bit good, and he finds it all very easy.
Love that. Well, just a few more from me, and then the lads have got a few. But I've got Dorian Quest. Obviously made his second year start of a 2 mile. Will we see him up in Trip soon?
Yeah, you'll see him up in Trip at Chepstow, all being well. He goes on good ground. We started him off over 2 miles this season, get a run into him, bit more experience as a listed novice chase at Chepstow there. So, look, he's had a run. The others won't have. And whether he's good enough to win that, we'll see. But yeah, he should win some nice handicaps along the route. Yeah, I think 2.5, 3 miles is probably his trip. And he's going to go Chepstow. Like I say, whether he just bumps into one or two that are just highly rated and better than him remains to be seen. But we've had a run and he's in good form.
Fantastic. Last two from me. Then I've got Let It Rain. I was at Wetherby when you bolted up on her, and she got that nasty cut, and we've not seen her since. Is she okay? Will we see her back?
She's fine. She's actually come back into light training now. You won't see her till at least Christmas. Bit unlucky, this mare, really. Just had one or two small little niggles and has never had like that clear run. But she's got a lot of ability. And yeah, we'd just be keen, to get her back on track around, say, Christmas, New Year time, and then look to the spring with her.
Take it steady with it. No, I like it. The last one from me then is a horse I really like for this season, and it's Madara. And obviously she come. He come in. It was in the Paddy Power Gold Cup last year. I'm wondering if
Yeah,
you're going to go this year for it.
he actually picked up a little niggling injury after the December Gold Cup. So you won't see him. Whether we can get him back, this time might be in the spring, but you won't see him for a while.
Right, no worries then. That's unfortunate, but that's fine. So I'm going to give you over to Rich now. Rich has got a few, and then Joe, and then we've got just a few more questions at the end, and then we're done.
I'll give you one in the same colours. Gonna run the Paddy Power. She'll have a run before summer, but she'll go for the Paddy Power, and that's Panic Attack. The same colours, owned by Brian Drew. She'll have a run somewhere first, and then
Yep.
I think the aim is to go to the Paddy Power.
Love that. Brilliant. Nice one. Go on then, Rich.
Yes. The first one I'm going to start off with is Live Conti, a juvenile that ran in the Triumph. Quite a decent reputation over in France, won easily at UK debut, and then I think he ran pretty easily. Well, he ran fairly well in the Aintree juvenile. So at 16s, he finished second, I think. How's he doing? Is he looking well?
Really likable horse. Grown a lot actually. Filled out. He just might not be that busy this year. Being 4-year-old, 5-year-old, it's quite a hard season for him. You can go novice chasing, but we feel we're just going to stay over hurdles, and gain some more experience before we go chasing. Really nice horse. Obviously ran very well at Aintree. Was done by a horse with a lot more speed. He'll run. I think he's going to run in some, sort of higher, better sort of races, if you like, throughout the year. So I think the race at Ascot, 2.5 mile. Is it the Ascot hurdle? Is it, or could be a nice starting point, something like that. But real nice horse to the future. But it's a hard year for them 4-year-olds. They've no allowance now against the older horses. I actually think they should have more 4-year-old races all the way up to Christmas, because what happens is a lot of horses and a lot of trainers of the 4-year-olds, you only have 2 chances to run against your own age before the turn of the year. That's at Chepstow and at Cheltenham. And a lot of people get quite excited, really, and rightly so, probably because they have them sort of tuned up and ready to go, because that's the only chance you get against your own age. And then a lot of them go backwards.
Yeah.
Whereas we just might not do that with this horse. If he goes to Cheltenham, I expect him. There's plenty to come into the spring. Put it that way. He won't be going.
You
He
won't
won't be going to
him out.
Cheltenham. Pardon?
I said you wouldn't bottom him out early on.
No, exactly. And I think I think a lot of them 4-year-olds that happens to, because they only get 2 chances to run against their own age. Other than that, they're against the older horses with no allowance. So it's hard. It's a hard year for him. But he's a good horse, I think, and you'll see him in some nice races. And if he can win one, it's a bonus. But look, if we talk about if we're on here next year, we'll be talking to him and going novice chasing, and I'll be saying, yeah. Now we're talking.
Here we go.
Here we go.
No, good stuff. Another one, another easy bumper with Canton with Bossman Jack. Looks quite exciting this year. I assume he's going novice.
Yeah, he'll go novice hurdling. Won very well at Wincanton. Nice big horse. Nice big horse. Jumps well, won well, does everything nicely. How good is he? Time will tell.
I know. No, another one I've got here is Royal Infantry. I think he's going novice chasing now. Looked quite exciting. Then he ran okay.
Yeah, he got a bit of an interrupted sort of season last year. Had a wind up midway through the season. Won at Haydock quite well, and then a bit of a change of tactics because there was plenty of pace the next time. We dropped him in a bit, didn't really suit, but it was more than just the change of tactics. He needed a wind operation. He's had that. Came back then, ran well at ran okay at Aintree, actually over 2 miles. When was flat out the whole way. We stepped him up to 3 mile then at Perth, and for the way he travelled, he actually ran well, even over 3 miles. He's going to run in the Silver Trophy at Chepstow in 2 weeks' time. I think he's pretty nicely handicapped. He'd be fit and ready, and should have a chance. Whether we stay hurdling for this year or go chasing after that, we'll see. But he goes to Chepstow and he'll have a chance.
Nope, that's spot on. The next one I've got is Etalong, easy winner at Perth. Is he potentially one you probably see at Cheltenham because he's got lack of experience around that sort of course? Is he? Do you think he potentially could be one for the spring at Cheltenham, or would you skip that maybe?
Yeah, like we'll just have to wait and see. Really, to be honest, he's been a little bit disappointing. He looked like going the right way and took a few backward steps. Then, like you say, he won well, getting back on track. Did he win it? Did we win at Perth? Did he?
Yes, he won at Perth. Yeah, I think he. What was it? I think he won fairly well. I think it was over about 10 lengths. But yeah, that was up 139 over 2 miles.
Yeah.
Up, I think.
So got back on track there, and yeah, he's been like we started last year in the Holden Gold Cup, and we got him pretty ready for it, and it all went peak tongue to be honest. And then we never got a clear run after that.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's going to run, I think, pretty soon. And those older horses, he's a bit older now, and he's a handicapper, so I think we'll just let him find his feet a little bit, take the pressure off him, because last year we, like I said, went all guns blazing a little bit for the Holden Gold Cup, and it backfired. So we'll let him tell us, But a little bit disappointing that he hasn't stepped up,
Yeah. The last couple I've got, one's a French recruit, Precious Man. I think he's a winner at Old Toy, and he's got form ties with a JP horse. Nasio has, I think it is. Quite well.
Yeah, Nasia has.
Yeah,
Two very nice horses, I'd say. Nasia has, bought by JP's, gone to Willie, and Precious Man. Yeah, we've got him now for the De La Haye. So we were just sort of, thinking, no sort of rush, take our time. But to be honest, he's a handy sort of horse. As you look at him as a physique, he's more of a hurdler than chaser. And basically he's given us the green lights. He's fairly ready. He isn't a horse that sort of he'll get stronger just naturally with a bit of age, but he isn't like a great big horse like sort of Live Conti was, and will get better. I'm not gonna, I'm not sitting here saying, "Oh, he'll be better in a year's time for being physically stronger," because that's not the case. He's ready to go, and he's telling us he's telling us that at home. Really, very straightforward. I gave him a school last week, jumped well. He is one that could start off at Cheltenham.
Brilliant.
Yeah, no, very exciting, definitely. What else have I got? A couple of pointers. I got Manila Marathon, quite an expensive purchase from the Aintree sale.
Yeah.
One is Irish Point.
Yeah, Irish Pointer,
How's he
first
doing?
horse for Ronnie Bartlett.
Yeah.
To be honest, guys, it was giving him a school, and just going through the motions really. Haven't asked anything of him yet. There's a lot of them in that bracket, those pointers that obviously want plenty of cut in the ground, and we've no real sort of target to start them off. But we like everything we see of him. Being a 4-year-old as well, like he'll tell us what he's ready
When he's
for.
ready,
But all good so far.
No, spot on. I mean, the other one I had was Moments in Time, who bolted a lovely grey horse. Bolted up in his
he got
point.
a very high rating for a pointer horse by Kingston Hill. I'd say love a bit of soft ground now, but again, same bracket, as Manila Marathon, doing everything nicely. Big galloping horse. I'd say he'd definitely want plenty of cut in the ground. And they're probably two horses now that they probably will just start off straight over hurdles. because
Yeah.
I can't see that they're going to be. You go over in a bumper maybe if you think they're probably going to be classy enough as a bumper horse to run in those sort of listed bumpers.
Mhm.
But I just think they're proper national hunt horses, proper jumpers. They've had a run in a point to point, so we will be cracking on with them too over hurdles.
Yeah, no spot
Yeah,
on. Yeah, that
we
was
won't
pretty much all
waste
I
any
had for
time
my
in
list.
bumpers. I wouldn't have thought.
No, brilliant.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start off with one I did like last season. Be aware. I know he's entered in Ute Nabot. I just wondered how he is and how he's doing. I know he's going chasing, isn't he?
Yeah, he's going to go chasing, Joe. He's got ability, but he's got to engage the brain.
Yeah. Both times I
he's
thought he looked like he travelled strong into the
Was
last
it?
the big two races to the end of the season and just didn't seem to.
yeah, and the
engage.
reason I dropping him in over hurdles is to try and just teach him to just relax and get longevity. It's all right just popping them out all the time and letting them just rip along from the front, but you end up just burning them out. We don't like to do that. We like to teach them to race properly and effectively put some manners on them. But he scored well. He's going to school again tomorrow morning if the ground's okay down at New Abbott, which was soft last week. So it should be all right down there for him to run. We'll get out and give him a run. You're better off getting him out and giving him a run rather than let him overboil at home because
Mhm.
he's in a good routine now. And
He's had a fair amount of races, hasn't he? So he knows what
yeah,
the race is.
and if he engages the brain, gives himself a chance, he'll do well. But it's up to him. The ball's in his court, sort of thing. We're trying to help him. He's got to help himself.
Yeah, fingers crossed. I
The
might be
ability's
there.
there.
I might be there on the Monday. I'm not far away. I'm in
Yeah.
Somerset, so I think I'll make the trip down.
Okay. He's got ability. There's no doubt in it, there's no doubt in his ability. But what stops these horses getting to the top is their brain. That new
Mentality.
line, you could
He
ride him
looks
down the
like he's half
M6.
asleep.
Yeah, you could ride him. You could literally ride him down the M6. You could ride him into Liverpool. Do you know what I mean? That's the difference.
Yeah,
That's what breaks them apart, and that's what lets them become really good horses.
yeah,
And him and Country Mile, there's no doubt in their ability, but they've just got to in their races, they've just got to give them themselves a chance. And in the prelims and everything, to be fair, that be aware, and Country Mile, they're fine in the paddock, they're fine on the way to the races, but they are just headstrong and they need to just give themselves a chance.
yeah, 100%. Perfect.
But hopefully, a fence will make them. It'll make a
just
break.
make them not
Yeah.
slow down a
Yeah.
bit, but just get used
Think
to
about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just breathe, just
Yeah,
relax
exactly.
and just yeah.
Brilliant. So the next one is key ups to boards. Finished
Yeah,
second
key up to
no
board.
drama. This end, I know Nichols thinks a fair bit of that one. I just wondered what he's up to. I know he only had
We'll go over hurdles. Harry Cobden got first run on me that day at Warwick. Me and Harry actually that day. The ground it was funny because the ground was actually really soft, and it was horrible tacky ground. Anyway, me and Harry went really wide, literally on the outside wing the whole way around, and we were actually on quite decent ground. No one had been there, and Harry got first run. I stayed on, charged home. Think that's beaten by a decent horse. No drama this end. But key ups the board very much in the same sort of banner as sort of live Conti that I think talking about him next year be very excited to see him going over fences. But yeah, I think he's got a fair amount of ability now. He could be one for he could be one for March. But I'd be more excited next year, I think, going to the fences.
Brilliant. It's always nice to hear a good one. The next one is Unexpected Party. I know finished off the season in the Celebration Chase in high company, but before that, obviously in high enough handicaps and finished second to Jazzy Matty. I'm just wondering if he's sort of staying up in handicaps next season, or if you are going to take that step into.
We'll pick and choose. Look, he's a great horse to have about. Takes his racing really well. He'll start off. I would have thought we'll probably start him off at Chepstow, one of those handicaps. Those handicappers first time up. They won't be. We'll leave plenty to improve on. It's a long season for them, but handicaps, graded races, we'll pot hunt with him.
I was going to say,
it's-
is it quite hard to sort of manage a season where they're so, they're probably getting to the heights of the handicap bracket, but sort of the lows of the grid? Is that fair to say?
Yeah, exactly. Like he's not a grade 1 performer, but what he can do is run around in a grade 1 and pick up 12, 15 grand for doing so. So we'll pot hunt along with him throughout the season, and look, it'd be great to get him back to Cheltenham in the Grand Annual.
Yeah, brilliant. Fourth horse, sorry, is going to be Fortune de Mer. Also entered at Newton Abbot. I was just wondering.
Yeah, you might see him then down Newton Abbot if the ground's all right. Plenty of ability. Jump well at home and schooling well. Our novices we ran a horse down there today, paid on. He had a wind up in July, and he had been cantering. He'd basically been cantering nearly 9 weeks. That's as like, you really need at least 12 weeks really. But Fortune get himself a lot naturally fitter than him, he's been cantering obviously for longer, but we'll start off at Newton Abbot. I think this horse will be suited by some big handicaps, loads of runners, and he could end up being in some big. I could see him at like Ascot Christmas time in the big hurdle there, and then whether we need to go to 2.5. You got the Lanzarote, but he could be a horse that'll be really suited by some big handicaps.
Yeah.
I think the way he races and the way he needs things, like he needs to be dropped in and needs to come through runners, and I think that'll all be best suited and come off a strong gallop. And I think that'll be best suited when he's in some big handicaps.
Yeah, so switching up
But
for
Dan
the
does
last.
have in mind he run at Newton Abbot and then he might go to Cheltenham for the grade. There's a grade 2 novice hurdle there in the Paddy Power meeting.
Yeah.
So like we might just have a look there. But I think he'd be suited by some fast run races and big field.
A nice handicap. Brilliant. So the next one, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this right, but it's Harry Laws, sent from Japan. Obviously, point horse, Derek O'Connor Road. Seems one with a bit of hype around him. I just wondered.
Like everything we see at home. Haven't done an awful lot with him. I know Derek was very fond of him, and we'll start off over hurdles, and we'll see where it takes us. But done everything nicely at home, and we like what we see.
Brilliant. And finally, another one that Derek O'Connor rode, which it did catch my eye, was Real Quartz. Another point winner.
We were going to run him actually last year, but the ground just stopped us. He had shown plenty now in the spring. I think he can really gallop, and we'll go over hurdles. And big strong horse would want plenty of cut in the ground. But we like what we've seen from him last year in the spring, and like I say, we had him there for a good time there after Christmas, and got to know him a little bit more than the other pointers. But yeah, he could be interesting.
Brilliant. Well, that's it. That is it for me on my list. I know we've sort of rattled off a fair few horses to you there.
Yeah, no, so sort of coming towards the end now, Harry, mate. Well, we do appreciate, obviously, I know we go through a lot of stuff, and we really do appreciate you sort of giving us your insight on it and stuff. So there's one more asking before I ask you the last question. What's Cell Protectorate going to be doing this year? Going to try and get something out of him again this year? You were electric at Windsor, weren't you, last season?
Yeah, all roads will lead back towards Windsor. Suits him really, obviously suits him well. They start off in the Charlie Hall. He's ever got all the enthusiasm at home, and yeah, he's in great form. And we'll start off on the Charlie Hall, and yeah, go back for the Fleur de Lis and all those sort of, middle distance 3-mile races.
Love it. Well, we've come to the end now, but my last question, and I sort of pushed Josh Carrera on it last week, and he was pretty good with us with it. But I'm going to ask you for maybe one or two horses that maybe we've not mentioned, or maybe we have, but that you sort of think, you look at these on a morning, you think these have got a stone in hand, they've got a good handicap in them, so that we can kind of look for this early part of the season where you think, back this next time because it's going to win. Josh gave us loads. He gave us loads, I tell you.
Did he? What were they?
Well, he gave us Eagles Gold and El Baracho, didn't he? El Baracho, he said, this will not lose with the blinkers on next time, he said. Exact words.
There were his words. Well, a horse that maybe... Joy Machine was probably a bit unlucky last year in a couple of races. Probably should have won on him the second time. He got beat at Utoxter on him. And he's probably a horse that just didn't get the rub of the green, I think, last year. He could win a good handicap, I feel, and he's
no pressure.
It's hard to pick another one. Mr. Hope Street's going over fences.
Nice.
I think that could improve him, and I feel he didn't get into Aintree last year, but if it got in, I think he could have gone well. I think going over fences would be the making of him, and yeah, he's probably one that'll have a nice handicap chasing him, hopefully.
Lovely. Well, that'll do us, mate. I appreciate that. Nice one. Well, that's it. We've come to the end of the show. So all there's really left to say is really, Harry, thanks for coming on, and we hope you have a brilliant season, and we really hope you get that trainers title and knock Willie off his perch. I'm sure you'll be trying your best all the way through.
That's it. No worries, lads.
Yeah, so John, Rich, obviously, we're going to be back next week with another show. Got another guest hopefully coming on, so that'll be great. So, like I say, subscribe to the channel. We'll be trying to pump this sort of content out each time. Obviously, we get really well supported by people like Harry, so we really do appreciate it. And thank you everyone for watching. And we'll see you next time. Cheers and good night.
Sorry. Cheers.
Cheers, lads.
Cheers.
All right.
Thank you.